If I was starting a tech company in Africa today, what business model would I choose? Notice how I said business model, not idea. The difference matters. An idea is a sentence. A business model is how the company gets paid. Who pays, why they pay, how often they pay, how the company grows, how the margins work, how trust gets built. This is the part most people skip. I see founders do this all the time. Let's say I want to build something in fintech, or I want to build something in AI, or I want to build something for African SMEs. That is too broad. That is not yet a company. I want to know the model. So today, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific business models I will study if I were building in Africa right now. This came from a pattern I track as an investor, including a working list of hundreds of business models I think I have strong signal for the African market. I'm not going to give you a random list. I'm going to show you how to think through each model like a founder and like an investor. Quick note, this is education only. It is not financial advice. It is not a recommendation to invest in any company or start any company blindly. Use this as a thinking tool, then do your own research. Talk to customers and get proper advice where you need it. The goal is simple. By the end of this video, you should be able to look at a model and say, I understand who pays, why they're paying, why now, and what could make this big. Before we go through the models, I want to set the feelers or the filters. I'm not talking about opening a shop, a salon, a restaurant, or another clinic. Those can be good businesses, but that is not the lane of this channel. I'm talking about scalable, tech-enabled businesses. Scalable means a company that can serve many more customers without costs rising at the same speed. Tech-enabled means software is doing an important part of the work. It may not be pure software. It may touch logistics, finance, healthcare, retail, or education, but software must carry the model. And here's the line I want you to keep in your head. Do not ask what is a cool idea. Ask what painful activity already happens every week, and can software make it cheaper, faster, safer, or easier? The question will save you from chasing hype, because the best startup models in Africa are often not flashy. They are usually sitting inside boring, painful, repeatable problems: ordering medicine, managing group savings, getting paid across borders, running loan operations. None of that sounds glamorous, but money moves through those problems every day. So let's go model by model. First one, WhatsApp first CRM for micro businesses. Let me define CRM. CRM means customer relationship management. Simple English. It is a tool that helps a business keep track of customers, orders, messages, follow-ups, and sales. Now, bring that into Africa. Millions of small businesses already run on WhatsApp. The customer asks a question on WhatsApp, the order comes through WhatsApp, the payment confirmation is sent on WhatsApp, the complaint comes through WhatsApp, the repeat purchase start on WhatsApp. So the question is not, will business use WhatsApp? They already do. The question is, can you build the business layer around it? Picture a woman selling skincare products in Lagos. She has 300 customers in her phone. She's answering questions, checking who paid, remembering who asked for delivery, following up with the people who disappeared, and trying not to lose orders inside a flood of messages. At some point, WhatsApp becomes messy. She does not need a complex enterprise system. She needs a simple tool that sits around the way she already works. That is a model. A lightweight CRM that helps micro sellers track customers, send reminders, manage orders, tag buyers, record payment, and maybe, just maybe, use AI to answer common questions. Not a fancy dashboard for big companies, a practical command center for people already selling through chats. Why do I like this model? Well, because the behavior already exists. That is powerful. You're not trying to teach the market a totally new habit. You're organizing a habit that is already there. The customer is clear. Micro sellers, social commerce merchants, service providers, creators selling products, and local businesses that live inside chats. The payment moment is clear too. They pay when the tool helps them stop losing sales. If you can show them you missed 20 orders last month because you could not follow up and my tools help you recover even 5 of them, the value becomes obvious. The mistake founders make here is building too much. They build a full CRM with 20 features. Wrong. Start with one painful workflow, maybe missed follow-up, maybe order tracking, maybe automated replies. Win that one use case first. Investor lens. I will ask, does usage happen daily? Does the business become more organized after using it? Does the seller make more money or save time? Can you charge a small monthly fee or take a tiny cut of transaction? If the answer is yes, this model becomes interesting. And I have seen a few deal flow over the last couple of weeks that made my eyebrow go up. And we've actually reviewed a few companies that are building around this model. A lot of them are just either too early or have not really figure out the customer segment good enough. If you're actually building something like that and you can show that your customers are loving it, it's scalable, you're doing really well, reach out to Ajim Capital. We want to invest. Second model, pharmacy ordering and drug inventory tools. This one is specific and I like specific. Small pharmacy across many markets face the same problem. They need the right medicine in stock. They need to avoid expired products. They need reliable suppliers, they need fair pricing, and they need to know what is moving and what is sitting. If you have ever gone to a pharmacy and heard, "We do not have it, come back tomorrow," you have seen part of the problem. Now imagine at scale. The patient loses time, the pharmacy loses a sale, the supplier may not know demand, the whole system becomes inefficient. The model is software plus procurement for pharmacies, a tool that helps pharmacies order stock, track inventory, reduce stock out, manage expiry, maybe access better pricing because demand is aggregated across many pharmacies. Let me define stock out. A stock out means the customer wants to buy something, but the business does not have it. In healthcare, that can be more than annoying. It can be serious. Why is this model attractive? Because the pain is urgent, it's repeated, and it's expensive. Pharmacies order again and again. Medicine availability matters. Inventory mistake costs money. Trust matters deeply. And once a pharmacy uses your system to run ordering, you can become part of the daily operation. This is not an easy model. Healthcare has regulation. Medicine quality matters. Supplier trust matters. You cannot be sloppy. But that difficulty can also be a moat. Moat means the thing that makes a business hard to copy. If you build trusted supplier relationship, clean data, pharmacy workflows, and reliable fulfillment, a random competitor cannot copy that overnight. There are already African companies that have shown pieces of this model can work. I will not copy any company blindly, but I will study the patterns, fragmented pharmacies, unreliable supply, inventory pain, and a platform that helps organize the flow. Founder mistake. Do not start by saying, "I'm building healthcare for Africa." Too broad. Say, "I help independent pharmacies reduce stock out and expired inventory." This is clear. That sounds like a problem someone may pay to solve. Investor lens. I will ask, how often does the pharmacy use the tool? What percentage of their stock flows through you? Are you improving availability? Are you improving margins? Are you building trust with both pharmacies and suppliers? If the answer is yes, this can become much bigger than a software tool. Third model, digital group savings with a credit layer. In many African communities, group savings is already normal. People come together, contribute money regularly, and one person receives the pot at a time. It's very familiar in so many African countries, whether it being in Cameroon or Nigeria. Different countries and communities call it different names. For example, in Cameroon, I know it's tontine. In Nigeria, I believe it's ajo or njangi. Tontines, roscas, ajo, Jamas, Jangi. The name changes, the behavior is deeply familiar. This is why I like the model. The habits already exist. People already trust the social structure. They already understand the rhythm. Technology does not need to invent the behavior. It needs to make it safer, easier, more transparent, and more useful. The first layer is simple. Digitize the group. Contributions, reminders, payment tracking, member records, payout order, missed payments, group rules. That alone can save time and reduce conflict. But the more interesting layer is credit. If a group has clean contribution history, that history becomes a trust signal. Over time, the platform can help members access small loans, saving products, insurance, or merchant offers based on behavior. Let me make it concrete. A group of 20 market women contributes every week. Today, the record sits in a notebook or in a person's phone. If something goes wrong, there's confusion. Now, imagine if a tool that records every contribution, sends reminders, shows who is next, and builds a history for every member. After 6 months, the platform can see who contribute consistently. That behavior can become a signal for credit. That is the opportunity, turning information trust into visible financial history. But founders need to be careful here. This model touches people's money and relationships. Trust is everything. If the app breaks, if payments are delayed, if one person feels cheated, you are not just losing users, you're damaging trust inside a community. So the product must be simple, transparent, and reliable. From an investor lens, I will ask, are group inviting other groups? Are members using it every week? Does the tool reduce disputes? Can the business earn from payment or premium features, credit, or partnership without hurting trust? And this is important. Do not make the product feel like a foreign finance app pasted into, like an African behavior. Build around how the group already works. Fourth model, B2B escrow for importers and exporters. Escrow is a simple idea. A trusted middle layer holds the money until both sides do what they promise. The buyer knows the seller will not run away with the money, and the seller knows the buyer has actually paid. Now, think about cross-border trade. A buyer in one country wants to purchase goods from a supplier in another country. Maybe they never met. Maybe the supplier wants payment up front. Maybe the buyer is nervous. Maybe both sides are honest, but neither side fully trusts the other. That lack of trust slows trade. The model is B2B escrowed for African trade, not for random consumer shopping. I'm talking about importers, exporters, wholesalers, distributors, and marketplace transactions where trust is the bottleneck. Why do I like it? Because it sits at the center of money, trust, and trade. Those three things matter everywhere, but they matter even more when markets are fragmented and relationships cross borders. Picture a small electronic importer in Abidjan buying a supplier in another country, let's say China. The importer worries, if I send the money, will the goods come? The supplier worries, if I ship the goods, will I get paid? Escrow solves that tension. This model can also connect to payments, compliance, trade documents, and dispute resolution. You may start with escrow, but over time, you can become the trusted transaction layer for a category of trade. Founder mistake. Do not build a generic escrow app for everyone. Too vague. Pick a vertical. Agricultural export, used phones, auto parts, beauty supply imports, pharmacy suppliers. One category where trust problems are painful and frequent. For an investor lens, I will ask, where is the repeatable transaction? How big is the average order? How often do buyers return? What dispute happens, and can you resolve them? Can you earn a fee without making the transaction too expensive? If you can answer those questions clearly, this is not just a finance idea. Fit model: loan servicing software for MFIs and alternative lenders. MFI means microfinance institutions. These are organizations that lend small amount of monies, often to individuals or small businesses or informal workers. Alternative lenders are non-bank lenders. They also provide credit outside traditional banks. Here's the pain. Lending sounds simple from the outside. Give money, collect money back, but behind the scene, lending is operations. Applications, approvals, repayments, schedules, reminders, collection compliance, reporting, customer support, fraud checks. If those systems are messy, the lender cannot scale safely. The model is software that helps lenders manage loans from start to finish: loan applications, underwriting, disbursement, repayment tracking, missed payment reminders, customer records, and reportings. Why does this matter in Africa? Because credit demand is extremely high, but many lenders still run with an old system: spreadsheets, manual processes, or disconnected tools. This is one of those models that may not sound exciting on a thumbnail, but it can be a strong business. The customer is a business. The pain is expensive. The tool becomes core to operation. Let me explain switching costs. Switching costs mean how hard it is for a customer to leave. If your tool stores loan records, repayment history, customer data, and reporting, leaving you is not like deleting an app. It is operationally painful. That can make the business stickier. Founder mistake: do not sell this as a software. Sell it as a fewer mistake, faster loan processing, better repayment tracking, and cleaner reporting. For an investor lens, I will ask, how many loans are managed through the system? How often do the staff use it? Does it reduce late payments or manual work? Can it serve lenders in multiple countries without rebuilding everything from scratch? The founder who wins here may not be the flashiest. It may be the person who understands lending operations deeply and builds the boring system everyone depends on. The investor test for any business model. Now, let us take a step back. I gave you 5 models, but the point is not that you should copy one tomorrow. The point is that you should learn how to judge models. Here's a simple test I will use. 1. Who is the exact customers? If your answer is everyone, you're not ready. Micro sellers, independent pharmacy, MFIs, importers. Be specific. 2. What painful activity happens often? Ordering medicine, collecting contributions, sending money safely, serving loans, answering customers. If the activity already repeats, you do not have to create the habit. 3. What is the payment moment? This is the moment the customer says, yes, this is worth paying for. For the WhatsApp seller, it may be recovered sales. For the pharmacy, fewer stock out. For the lender, fewer manual mistakes. For the importer, safer payments. If you cannot name the payment moment, keep working. 4. Can software carry more of the work over time? This is what makes the model scalable. If every new customer requires the same amount of human labor, the model may still be a business, but it may not be venture scale. 5. What makes it hard to copy? Distribution, data, trust, workflow depth, regulation, supplier relationship, community behavior. Pick your moat early. That is the whole game. Specific customers, repeating pain, clear payment moment, software that scales. A reason you do not get copied instantly. Let us recap the 5 models. 1. WhatsApp first CRM into micro businesses because businesses already sell through chats and need structure. 2. Pharmacy ordering and drug inventory tools because stock out, expiry, and supplier trust are painful. 3. Digital group savings with a credit credit layer because the social habits already exist and can become financial history. 4. B2B escrow for importers and exporters because trust slows trade. 5. Loan servicing software for MFIs and alternative lenders because lending cannot scale on messy operations. And the bigger lesson in this: stop asking for startup ideas. Study business models. A good idea makes people nod. A good business model tells you who pays, why they pay, and why they keep paying. If you do one thing after this episode, pick one model and write one sentence: I help this exact customer solve this repeating problem, and they pay me when this painful moment improves. If you cannot finish that sentence, you do not have a model yet. You have curiosity, and that is fine. But do not confuse curiosity with a company. If this helped you think more clearly, subscribe for more practical breakdowns like this. And if you are building in Africa, do not just tell your idea, tell me the model. Which of these 5 business models would you build? And who is the exact customer you will start with? Tell me in the comments, and I'm excited to read them. And until next time, I hope you have a good day.